Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Zenless Zone Zero character tier list for version 2.0, and let me tell you, there have been some spicy changes. Whether you're here to optimize your team or just want to know which agents are crushing it in the meta, we've got you covered. We'll be talking about all the S-rank and A-rank characters and how they stack up when it comes to DPS, stun, and support roles. So if you're wondering who to build, who to bench, or who's secretly OP right now, you're in the right place. Now keep in mind, this isn't just some boring list where we read off stats. Nah, we're breaking it down with real insights, like how each agent actually performs in battle and how well they fit into team comps. Version 2.0 shook things up, and some older characters got buffed hard, while a few new faces have completely changed the game. So grab your controller, get comfy, and let's jump into the ultimate character breakdown for ZZZ 2.0. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Zenless Zone Zero. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Billy. Alright, let's talk about Billy. The guy who's kind of like that friend who insists on showing off from a safe distance, but then freezes up the moment things get messy. Billy is a free attack unit, so you can't really complain about the price tag. But here's the catch. His damage is decent only if you rely on his crouching shot. Now, crouching shot means Billy has to sit tight and focus all his firepower on a single enemy, which sounds cool until you realize he's basically planting himself like a sitting duck. That's a big problem when you're facing a whole squad, because while Billy is busy being a sharpshooter statue, the other enemies will have a field day with him. So yeah, Billy's great if you want a one-target wonder, but don't expect him to handle a crowd without turning into target practice. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Anton, Corin, and Ben. Alright, let's dive into some of the more, let's say, special characters in Zenless Zone Zero. The kind you might not immediately think of when you're building that dream team, but they definitely have their moments. Starting off with Anton, this guy is like that reliable friend who suddenly goes beast mode at parties. He's an attack unit with some serious punch, especially during burst mode where his basic attacks hit multiple times. Plus, if you've managed to shock your enemies, which you should, because who doesn't love a good stun, Anton's damage output skyrockets. So yeah, while he's sitting comfortably in C tier here, don't underestimate his potential to wreck face when the stars align. Next up, Corin. Now, she's a bit of a diva when it comes to crowd control because she really shines against stunned enemies. She's an attack unit too, but her forte isn't clearing out hordes of bad guys with splash damage. Nope, she's all about laser-focused destruction. Think of her as that sniper who can unload multiple hits on a single tough boss, wearing them down bit by bit. Sure, her lack of area of effect attacks means she won't be your go-to for mob clearing, but when the fight gets serious and it's just you versus the big bad, Corin's your MVP. Just make sure you've got a way to stun that target first, or you'll be swinging blind. Finally, let's talk about Ben, the big shield guy. Ben is a defense unit who's more about surviving the chaos than dealing massive damage. His X special attack throws up some solid shields, which can make a huge difference in those nail-biting boss fights where one wrong hit could send your team packing. Now, I won't lie, his attack speed is slow, like waiting for your coffee to brew slow. But that doesn't mean he's useless. Especially if you're running a team with Kalita, Ben's shields can keep you standing longer than you'd expect. So while Ben might not be the flashiest, he's definitely the quiet tank that holds the line when it counts.
The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Piper, Soldier 11, Grace, Kalita, Anby, and Nekomata. Alright, let's dive into the B-tier heroes of Zenless Zone Zero, the unsung middleweights, who might not steal the spotlight every fight but definitely bring some serious flavor to your squad. You know, those characters that make you go, maybe I should give them another shot. So buckle up, because this is where things get interesting. First up, we have Piper, the anomaly specialist who's a bit like that friend who takes forever to get ready but looks stunning once they show up. She builds up her own anomaly buildup with her EX special attack and ultimate, and once she's got enough power stacks, she can seriously boost the whole team's damage. It's kind of a slow burn though, like brewing a perfect cup of coffee. Tedious, but oh so worth it. Then there's Soldier 11, your straightforward fire attack unit who's basically the easy-to-use weapon in your arsenal. She shines especially bright against stunned enemies, thanks to her fire suppression skill activated through her EX special attack or chain attack. When that kicks in, her basic and dash attacks deal some serious damage. Basically, she's your go-to if you like things simple but effective. No fancy tricks, just solid firepower. Grace comes next, a mobile anomaly unit who's all about that shock damage life. The cool thing with Grace is that enemies who get shocked keep taking damage, even if she's not on the field anymore. So, she's perfect to pair with a heavy hitter, letting you stack up the damage over time while someone else cleans up. Think of her as that pesky electric buzz that never quite goes away. Kalita is your stun maestro, bringing the party to a screeching halt with loads of daze damage. She's especially potent if you have Ben on your team, who seems to amp up her powers. Plus, she's great at boosting your party's chain attack damage against stunned foes, making her invaluable when you want to keep enemies locked down and wrecked. Ambi is the freebie stun unit everyone should try out. She dishes out crazy daze damage with her special attack, but here's the catch. You gotta time it right and use it after her third basic attack hit to squeeze out the maximum effect. It's like a little combo dance, but once you nail it, she can wreak havoc on the battlefield. Last but not least, we have Nekomata, the agile area of effect attack unit who loves to dart around like a ninja on espresso. Her quick attacks and high mobility make her perfect for mowing down groups of weak enemies. Plus, her dodge counter and ultimate move can turn the tide fast, making her a perfect choice when things get messy and you need to clean house in style. So yeah, the B tier might not be the flashiest, but with a bit of love and the right combos, these characters can surprise you. Sometimes the middle of the pack is where the real fun begins, right? The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ellen, Ju Yuan, Harumasa, Lycaon, Nicole, Lucy, Rina, Pulchra, Sukaku, Seth, and Pan Yinhu. Alright, buckle up, because if you thought the world of Zenless Zone Zero was just about smashing buttons and flashy moves, you're about to get schooled on some serious A-tier legends who bring way more than just good looks to the fight. Let's dive right in and talk about these characters who are basically the MVPs of your lineup. First up, Ellen. Now, Ellen isn't your average attack unit. She's got mobility for days and hits like a truck with her normal attacks. Seriously, her ultimate skill is like the boss level that wipes out any enemy no matter how big or nasty they look. You want raw power with the ability to dart around the battlefield? Ellen's your girl. Moving on to Ju Yuan. This lady packs a punch from afar thanks to her enhanced shot shells, which seriously amplify her basic attacks. The trick here is pairing her up with a stun unit because her damage skyrockets against stunned enemies. So yeah, make sure you have someone to put those bad guys to sleep, and Ju Yuan will turn them into crispy critters. Speaking of damage dealers, let's talk Harumasa. This dude is the Swiss Army knife of attack characters, strong, fast, and deadly at any range. Bonus points if your enemies are stunned, or hit with attribute anomalies because that's when Harumasa really goes full beast mode, dealing extra damage like it's nobody's business. Now, if you want to keep your enemies dazed and confused, Lycaon is your go-to stun unit. His basic attacks inflict tons of daze, which is basically the perfect setup for your damage dealers to shine. He's especially lethal on ice-themed teams because he shreds the enemy's ice resistance. So yeah, ice teams, take notes. Nicole is a support unit you can grab for free, and she's surprisingly handy. She can pull enemies together with her special attack, making crowd control a breeze. Plus, her basic and dash attacks chip away at enemy defense. She's awesome against smaller foes, but might struggle if the enemies start hitting like tanks. If you want off-field support that keeps things interesting, Lucy's your girl. Her guard boar summons do damage even when she's chilling off-field, and when those boars explode, they buff your whole party's attack. It's like having a little fireworks show that helps your team smash harder. Rina is a support character who's basically the master of penetration ratio buffs. Penetration ratio is the stat that ignores enemy defense. Super important, right? While she shines best in teams focused on shock effects, her buffs are versatile enough to be useful in lots of setups. If you want to punch through defenses like a hot knife through butter, Rina's the one to bring. Then there's Pulchra, who's got a cool twist. She's an off-field stun unit that uses aftershocks to daze enemies. And at Mastery level 6, she can boost aftershock damage and all damage types, which is just icing on the cake. She's the kind of support that messes with enemy heads while you sit back and watch the chaos unfold. For some solid defense, Seth is the shield guy you want. His shields don't just block damage, they also buff your team's anomaly proficiency, which makes him invaluable for teams dealing with those pesky attribute anomalies. Think of Seth as the reliable friend who always has your back. Literally. Lastly, Pan Yin-Hu is a defense unit who's like a secret weapon for rupture agents. He buffs sheer force, which is basically a damage multiplier for them, and he can heal through his ultimate, keeping your squad healthy when things get rough. If you want your rupture agents to hit harder and stay alive longer, Pan Yin-Hu's got you covered. So there you have it. The A-tier lineup in Zenless Zone Zero, each with their own flavor and firepower. Mix and match them wisely and you'll be clearing floors like a pro while having a blast. Who's your favorite from this list? The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Evelyn, Yanagi, Vivian, Soldier Zero Anby, Bernice, Hugo, Jane, Qingyi, and Lighter. Alright, buckle up because these characters are absolute game changers in Zenless Zone Zero, and trust me, you're going to want to take notes for your next squad build. Let's dive right into the cream of the crop, the S-tier heroes who basically redefine what it means to dominate the battlefield. First off, Evelyn. She's like that friend who shows up and immediately cleans house. As a powerful attack unit, her chain attacks are brutal, dishing out massive damage, especially when enemies are grouped up. Boss fights? She melts them faster than ice cream on a summer day. If you want raw power that feels satisfying to watch, Evelyn's your go-to. Next up, Yanagi. Now, Yanagi is a bit special, an anomaly unit who boosts disorder damage dealt by all squad members. If you're running a team with other anomaly units but with different attributes, Yanagi's your secret weapon to amplify the chaos. It's like she's the hype coach yelling, "Go team!" and suddenly everyone's damage output skyrockets. Speaking of anomaly units, Vivian is the quintessential off-field support. She works her magic with a bloom, increasing disorder damage while staying safely off the front lines. Pair her with a second anomaly unit and watch your enemies burn under an avalanche of aftershock damage. Vivian might not be in the spotlight, but she definitely steals the show. Soldier Zero Anby is that relentless powerhouse who thrives on stacking White Thunder stacks on enemies to deliver high aftershock damage. She's most effective when you keep her on field for the majority of the battle, constantly building up that thunderous fury. If you like watching your enemies get zapped repeatedly, Soldier Zero Anby will feel like a personal thunderstorm. Bernice brings the heat, literally. As an anomaly unit specializing in inflicting burn status, she racks up damage over time and adds some spicy afterburn damage from off-field. It's like lighting a candle next to a gasoline barrel. Enemies won't know what hit them until it's too late. Bernice is perfect for players who enjoy that slow, satisfying burn-down effect. Hugo is your classic attack unit with a twist. He shines brightest when enemies are stunned. His damage ramps up significantly in those moments, making him a perfect partner for any squad focused on crowd control and stunning. If you love the thrill of stunning enemies and then watching them crumble, Hugo is your man. Jane is that flashy, high-mobility anomaly unit who's all about assault attribute damage. She can dart around the battlefield and trigger disorder effects alongside another anomaly unit with a different element. Jane's great if you want to mix aggression with strategic element combos, keeping your enemies constantly off balance. Qingyi is a stun machine. She's fantastic at dealing tons of daze through her basic attacks and even buffs the stun multiplier thanks to her subjugation skill. What's cool about Qingyi is her versatility. You can slap her into nearly any team with an attack unit and she'll boost your crowd control game like a pro. Finally, we have Lighter, who is the ultimate support for fire and ice teams. As a stun character, she dishes out a ridiculous amount of daze and buffs fire and ice damage for the entire party. If you want your team to feel like they're wielding the forces of nature itself, Lighter's your spark and chill rolled into one. So yeah, these S-tier units in Zenless Zone Zero aren't just strong. They're downright essential if you want to climb the ranks and crush your enemies with style. Mix and match their unique skills, and you'll be crafting squads that feel more like unstoppable wrecking balls than anything else. Which one's your favorite so far? The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Miyabi, Yixuan, Astra, Trigger, and Caesar. Alright, let's dive into some serious powerhouses from Zenless Zone Zero. The kind of characters that just make you go, okay, this is unfair, but I love it. First up, Miyabi. If you want to feel like a walking avalanche, she's your girl. Miyabi's damage output is absolutely insane thanks to her Frostburn and basic attack called Shimotsuki. And here's the kicker. Equip her with the Hailstorm Shrine W engine, and boom! Her damage skyrockets to levels that make bosses question their life choices. She's basically the chill breeze that freezes your enemies and then slaps them silly. Next, we have Yixuan, the Rupture agent who's like the ninja of sheer force damage. Her attacks can literally ignore enemy defense. Yes, you heard that right, ignore defense. But don't be fooled, she's not a one-button wonder. Playing Yixuan well takes some skill because her special attack and ultimate have to be timed just right to unleash that devastating damage. If you get it right, she'll slice through your foes like a hot knife through butter. Master her, and you're basically an artist painting in blood. Now let's talk about Astra, the ultimate team player. This support character is the Swiss Army knife of buffs. She can boost attack and damage stats for your whole crew. But what's really cool is that she can let other units use their chain attacks as assists, opening up crazy combo possibilities. Oh, and did I mention her ultimate heals your team? She's like your squad's mom, making sure everyone's fed and ready to fight another round. Moving on to Trigger, who's basically the sniper with a sight of chaos. She operates off-field, which means she's chilling in the backlines while dropping aftershocks that stun enemies and cause that lovely daze status. Imagine being sniped from a mile away and then getting stunned. Yeah, Trigger's that kind of mean. She's perfect for controlling the battlefield without ever breaking a sweat. Talk about efficiency. Last but definitely not least, Caesar. She's the party's shield and stun queen rolled into one. Her defense role isn't just about soaking damage. Her shield actually boosts your team's attack power. Plus, she can stun enemies with high impact, disrupting their plans like a total boss. If you want a support that keeps your squad alive and turning the tables, Caesar's your go-to. She's the reason enemies think twice before swinging at you. So yeah, these S+ tier characters aren't just good, they're game changers. Whether you're freezing foes, ignoring defenses, buffing your team, sniping from afar, or blocking hits like a champ, this lineup's got you covered. Which one's your favorite? Or better yet, which one are you hyped to try out first? The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.